welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I would love it if you could subscribe, and if you're already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing my first update for my Pan Those eyeshadows. So what I will say is I am going to be keeping the same eyeshadows in. I've made really good progress on some of them, but unfortunately I haven't hit pan on the ones I want or the usage goal I set myself. But I'm still going to show you anyway. So I'm going to show you the palette, I'll show you the eyeshadow I've been working on, and I'll tell you how many times I've used it since the intro to today. I don't know whether this is going to be in the order it was when I picked it out. I'm sorry if it isn't. I'm just going to go off what I put in the book that I've got, which I've written down all of my numbers on. What I will say is when the tally what I've done, a lot of them may look low, but what I have done with it is if I've dipped my brush into the eyeshadow like 5 times, for example, I'm only counting that as one use. So each day, even if I've dipped my brush into my eyeshadow palette like 5 times, I'm only counting it as one use. Now I know Chick Geek also does this as well, and I thought that was a pretty good idea to do it. I know there are so many different ways though, like some people do it every time they dip their brush in. I mean, you can do it that way as well, but that's just how I've done it. So if these numbers maybe look low to some other people that you've watched, that is why. I'm sure that is not worded the way that it should, but just bear with me, I'll tell you what I mean in a minute. So starting off, we have this one, and this is the I Heart Revolution Peanut Butter Cup. Now, so this was completely new to my collection. I got this as a gift at Christmas time. I hadn't used any of these before I put it into this project, and the colour I got was Chunk. So it is this one here. So this one I feel like I've made the most progress on. I'm really happy with that. I've got a good dip going, and I thought I might have been able to hit pan on this one. It looked like I was getting to that point, but unfortunately I haven't, which is fine. I'm hopeful by the next update that we might have a pan, then I can roll something new in. What I will say is I was umming and ahhing whether I wanted to keep doing this project because I felt like I was neglecting other stuff in like other eyeshadow palettes in my collection. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it until like the 3rd or 4th update, and then we will see whether it's something I want to do or I feel like I'm neglecting my other palettes. And if that's the case, I have something else in mind. But at the moment, I don't want to just give up on a project straight away. I'm happy to keep this in. It is a really pretty colour, so it's like a peachy colour with some sparkle in, and I have used this one 9 times. This one didn't have a usage goal on it. This one was just going to be in until I've hit pan, so I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, by the next update we will have a pan in a palette. Okay, next one I want to talk about is this, and this is the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. So again, this was a palette that when it came into this project I hadn't used it, and I got the colour Whipped Cream, which is just this white here. Now you're most probably not going to be able to tell any progress on it because of my ring light, but I am so happy with this progress on this. I don't even think you're going to be able to see. You're more likely to see in the pictures, because I will be putting pictures on the screen, you're more likely to see better there. But I'm so happy with this. It's definitely a colour I use every time I do my makeup because I use it to set my eyes. One thing I will say is I did swatch these earlier and I'm kind of annoyed at myself because it doesn't really look like the usual progress. That is something I won't be doing. I can definitely tell that I'm still quite new to this because I didn't take the pictures before I did some swatches. It's unfortunate, but the pictures will get better. It's just, like I said, I did swatch them not thinking about it, and then yeah. I used the whipped cream colour. I used this 21 times. So this was every time I wore makeup. I'm really happy with the progress of this. Now, I don't think I'm going to have any progress on this in the next update because Too Faced palettes are really kind of like deep pans, but I've got a good dip going there. So maybe it might not be the next update, but maybe the one after that. I love this palette. Just the colour story in this palette just literally makes me so happy, and I have been using other colours in these palettes as well. Really like this palette. I love everything usually by Too Faced when it comes to their eyeshadow palettes, so yeah, I really like that. Next one we have is this, and this is the Revolution Pro New Neutrals palette, and I got the colour Majestic. Now this is usually a colour I wouldn't use, and it's like this dark plum purple here. I have surprised myself and I have used this 5 times. Now, I know to some people that might be like, oh, it's not a lot, but considering I never used to reach for dark eyeshadows in any of my palettes, 5 times using this is great. And I feel like with this, because it is like a plummy purple colour, it only goes with so many looks. I do have another dark colour in this project, which I have gravitated to a little bit more just because of the colour of it. I have started to use the darker colours in my palettes, and I might not be very good at it at the minute, but practice makes perfect. And usually, like I said, I completely just do not use the darker colours. So no, I'm really happy with 5 uses. With this one, I did set a usage goal on this and the other palette, which was the dark colour one, and I set a usage goal of 20. So I've got to use this 15 more times before I can roll it out. The other ones that I'm going to talk about are more like neutral colours or not darker colours. I've just kept them in until I have hit pan. I've used this 5 times. It's okay. I don't mind it. It's, like I said, I'm still getting used to using darker colours. It's bringing me out my comfort zone, which is exactly what I wanted from this project. I wanted to be pushed out of my comfort zone, and using darker colours is one of them. So the next one I have is this, and this is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. And in this one, I got Dark Side, which is this colour here. I can already tell I have a little bit of progress on this because there was no, I mean, I don't know how well you're going to see in this, but you might be able to see it better in the photo, but there was no like dip or anything in it, and there isn't a massive dip now, but there is definitely some, you can see some usage on here. So I used this colour 8 times. 8 times, I'm really happy with that. So like I said before, this is something that I put a usage goal of 20 on, so I have 12 more uses of this before I can roll it out. I've used this one more just because of the colour of it. I think it definitely more of a colour that will go with nearly every look compared to the plum purple one that I chose. So yeah, I've used that 8 times. I don't use darker colours every look, but like I said, I've definitely used them a lot more than what I would have before. And the last palette in my project, because I only had 5, is this, and this is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. And in this one I got Morning, which is this colour here. Try not to blind you, so I'm really hoping you can see that. What I will say with this palette, it is so like tightly pressed, it feels like. It barely looks like I've got any use out of this. I did, like I said, swatch it earlier, so the pictures might not really represent what it did look like, which is really silly of me, and I'm frustrated at that, but it is what it is, isn't it? This doesn't really look like it's got any dip at all, and I used this one 7 times. This one might be in for a while. I have a feeling this one might be in for a while, but what I have realised with this palette is I do like this palette. So my opinion on Natasha Denona previously was it's not worth it. It's not worth buying her palettes. Now this has been in my project, and I've not just used this colour but kind of other ones as well. The thing I find with this is it's this colour here, Glory. This is so patchy, and I think that's why my opinion of this palette was what it was. It was because of that colour, but the other ones are really pretty. You do get fallout with the shimmers, but I kind of expect that anyway, and it's nothing that a bit of concealer can't conceal. I do like this palette now. Do I still think it's worth £60? No, but I have bought some more stuff from Natasha Denona for my birthday, which I will be doing a birthday haul at the end of the month because my birthday is in February. I want to try some more of her stuff. Originally was put off because of this palette, but I have also heard a lot of people say that this palette is the worst palette from Natasha Denona. I feel like I need to give other things a chance before I can start like writing off the brand completely. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. This one here I think is going to be in it for a while, but I don't mind that because like I said, I have actually grown to really like this palette. So having all the different options in here as well is really, really nice. And we are coming into spring soon, so all of the nice brighter colours will be nice. Okay, so that was my Pan Those Eyeshadows update. Like I said, I was really hoping we could swap something out. I feel like I'm using the same colours all the time. It's about finding a balance, I think, and not neglecting the rest of my collection. I think I just need to find that medium of, you know, using my Pan Those eyeshadows and maybe on a weekend using other eyeshadow palettes. What I would love is if you could leave below what you do and how you feel like you're not neglecting the rest of your collection when you're doing projects, like either will it be a Pan Those eyeshadows, project pan. I would love to know below what it is that you do so you're finding that happy medium. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and it would mean the world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. And again, the next update will be around the same time next month, so please stick around to see that. Hopefully we've got some progress and I can swap something else out. But thank you for coming by, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.